How is everyone? I am on dual right now with my laptop and my phone. So when you join, say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. My name is Colleen Gallagher, if you've never met me, and I'm the founder of Colleen Gallagher International. It's an online coaching and education company. I'm an author of 3 books. I'm, coach, mentor, and I have 28 online courses that I've launched and sold. And today's live is going to be a little bit more sensitive and obviously on the current topic of abortion. And I wanted to do this live because I wanted to have a really clear communication for other people who are coaches, for other people who are educators, for other people who are even therapists. I have a lot of you who are therapists who are in this, in this community. And I wanted to do a live to offer perspective on what's occurred. I obviously have background in this with my PhD, and I have real life experience in this. I had an abortion within the 6-week period, so I would have fit for Texas and Florida. And I wrote a whole book on it. And I talked about the miracles of this book because I actually wasn't supposed to be able to have children unless I was on a specific Western medicine pill. And I wasn't on that. I'd gotten out of Western medicine, and so I should have known the laws of the universe, but I didn't. And it was a very awakening, enlightening, traumatic, empowering experience that I went through. And obviously, as of today, in our country, we've seen a change. And I don't want to give labels to things. I think we're all so quick to be reactive of it's a good label or it's bad or it's whatever. I think the things that we need to know, and that's what I want to talk about. And then I also want to offer, I have my sound bowls. I'm going to do just a meditation for us to have a calming and peaceful meditation we can all go through together in this time of massive disruption that's occurring. So first, let me just step back before I get into what you need to know, what's really happened. What does this mean for us as women? What does this mean for us as a society? Before I get into that, I just want to take one step back, and I want to say that it was so interesting. Last night, I had no idea why, but at 23 o'clock, I use universal time, I woke up and I could not sleep. Couldn't sleep. It was just like so much energy flowing through me. And this is very rare, which is very interesting. Like couldn't sleep. At the same time, I published a reel that had to do with everyone who's gotten my books. And I pinned this reel onto my Instagram, which is really interesting. And then I go to sleep at like 3:43, which is 6:43 Eastern Standard Time. By the time I wake up, the news hit that it was overturned. So I found this is like so interesting in my life experience because all of us are experiencing our own feelings, but I was like, oh my God, like I was like awakened because the soul of the fetus Ella, who I know, who's been in me, like awakened me to let me know she's with me, to let me know that this is part of something greater, right? Like not to be fearful, not to be emotional, not to be reactive. And so that's my life experience, right? And I want you to know that I am not someone who's really pro-choice or pro-life. I feel like I'm more pro-situation. Like I think it's, it's so hard to be so rash on this is how everything is. And I think we try to make things black and white when there's a lot of color. So when I woke up and the news hit, basically for those of you, what you need to know, what this means is that the federal government had a law. And so there's the federal and the state. That's how America is. I know that a lot of you are, some of you are not in America. So there's 2 separate kind of laws. So the federal, when we have a federal law, it means that every state has to abide to that law. So there's like federal taxes, right? Like every state, we pay state and federal taxes. Like everyone has to do that. Like it's a federal law that has to be 21 years to drink. It's a federal law that you have to be 18 years old to have cannabis. Like 16 years old to be able to do your first driver's test. This is like a federal law. Like these are things that like it applies to every state no matter what. Well, under the federal law, every state had where the state had to offer an option for abortion. Now, there was still states, like when you had what Texas did and Florida did, even though it was a federal law, they could like make it really short, like the 6 weeks, basically 2 weeks after your first missed period. But there's some other states that had it where even already, like if the mother was sick, or like let's say there was a pregnancy issue and she was going to die, that if it was past a certain amount of time, that the mom was going to die and the child was going to be birthed, or the child and the mom were both going to die. Then there was like a thing in Michigan, like early 2000s, I think it was, that like went really big, and it was like down to 2 hours where they had to get approval from the federal government so that she could abort the child, and so that her and the child wouldn't die during this pregnancy complication, which is just insane to me to think like you have to go through all these matters at that point. That's obviously not the majority. That's still a minority of the cases. But this law basically kind of protected from that in a way is the best way I can describe it. And so now what's going to happen, or what we're going to see, is every state is going to come up with new abortion laws. Just as if, let's say, everyone was given like, you could do whatever you want with drinking, or you could do whatever you want with weed, or you could do whatever you want with driving, with like I don't know, anything like with national parks are federal, state tax. Like it just like every state now is gonna be able to sit with their legislation, which is why it's important you vote and who's in Congress and your senator and your government. Because whatever state you live in now, that state is going to come up with rules of what they think. So obviously the red states are going to go more towards the 6 weeks, probably like Texas and Florida, and blue states are going to go like the other way. Now, the part where it's a little bit like it's hard for me to comprehend like why this is like why we're blowing this up is because even let's say in a red state where you are not, if you are under 3 months and you're not legalized there to have an abortion, you could still go to a clinic, let's say in Texas. They could confirm your pregnancy, and then from a blue state, they could ship you abortion pills if you're under 3 months for you still to have an abortion. So there's no law saying that like abortion pills can't be shipped, just like there's no law that like alcohol can't be shipped if you have like certain whatever. So it's a little bit dramatic to think that people aren't going to fully have access to these kinds of things, because they will. It just will be in a little bit of a different way. So I just want to be mindful of that narrative, because I think it's easy for us to kind of freak out and be like, oh my God. When in reality, the time we live in now, it would be easy for any clinic that has multiple states or multiple places to do this, or even for pop-up doctor office to say, yes, they're pregnant, here's the thing you can show them, and then for them to ship abortion pills. Now, where it's going to be tricky on this line is going to be the extreme cases, which is going to be rape, and if you chose to wait after 3 months and to talk about it or to find out, and pregnancy, if it's really late in pregnancy. Those two are going to be the big issues that are really going to go state by state, which obviously if you are more from a good family, you'll be able to figure it out and do whatever you need to do for your safety. And if you're not, you're going to have a little bit more trouble. So that's kind of like what you need to know, like logistically wise. And this is very non-emotional. I'm not putting emotion in this. I'm just giving you very matter of fact of what you need to know if you're someone who is a therapist, if you're someone who is a coach, if you're someone who does deal with trauma, as a leader, as a guide. These are just things you're going to want to be mindful of. And this is ways you can communicate of that. It's not so much that I don't want to, you can take this experience however you want to take it. So I should just say that. But I want you to know it's not like that there's not options for people. That we live in a time now where there will be options of how people can navigate this. Now, the next thing that's a little alarming is that a week ago we had gun safety laws, and there was nothing done by the Supreme Court for gun safety, which is a little bit alarming because we have two things we're saying like about children, and one seems like it has to do with guns and one seems like it has to do with a woman's body, and somehow one is getting regulated and one is not getting regulated. So that's a little bit of an issue. I did see there was an Apple News, Biden has something in front of him that he needs to look at and sign for. Again, it's not every state, but it's left up to the states for them to have more mental health checks for them or whatever. So it still doesn't really make me feel like great. I think we've moved the needle on that. But from a policy perspective, and again, a federal perspective, there's a lot of money that goes into the NRA, and a lot of the NRA, they do a lot of lobbying for people that are in policy or in the government in America. So it's also really hard to compare because Planned Parenthood and the other ones aren't really funding people who are running for office where the IRS does. So this would be another reason of why you're seeing a big discrepancy. And again, I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm literally just giving you information for you to have to better understand how this could happen or why this could happen. The next thing I want to say is that this is democracy. There isn't anything here that shows to me it's illegal. I don't see anything that, you know, from a legal perspective shows shadiness. Like, it seems like the Republican Party really strategized, which you need to, for years, and had some things they wanted to push and got it done. I don't think that that's wrong or right. I'm not again saying I agree or disagree. I'm just saying this is the importance of being able to plan your life and plan what you want to experience out of this life, which is why I believe in coaching and mentoring so much, and why I love my business is because I support people in planning for a better future where things like this, they are hurtful, but it's not like they are going to determine your future. So there's that. Let me feel into if there's anything else I wanted to share or offer around that. I think the most important thing is, like, I also saw a lot of people posting today of like, oh, this could mean this is gone now, or this is gone. It's like, let's not focus of what this could mean. Let's just take it for what it is today, what's occurred, what's happened, and let's move forward. And I think be observers in the Great Awakening. I do feel that we had a big swing in America of kind of women's movement things that was like way pendulum swinging. And remember, with consciousness and with awareness and with anything, we're always going to return to a harmonization and balance. So we're kind of we like swung all the way one way, and there was like a huge blow up of women rights and women, all this stuff. And now we're kind of swinging the pendulum back and going the extreme opposite way, but we're balanced. Make noise to get people to be emotionally reactive. Our job, right, is to provide stability and to provide knowledge and to provide information so people can take what they need to know and move forward in their leadership and their role with what needs to happen. So I think it's really important. And I think if you're suffering on this and this whole topic of like women's, I don't want to get into it. If you're suffering on the decision that was made today, I highly recommend my book, An Uncompromised Life. It will really support you And I want you to know that you're just not alone, because I think that's the biggest thing right now is those of you feeling like you're alone and feeling like there's a lack of support, understanding. This is much bigger than just you. It's for a greater awakening for the earth to ascend from a third world country into where we're meant to be. And this is just the beginning. You know, we're going to have a major recession that's coming. I can predict that. We're going to have more side effects we see from what happened with this new virus. So this is all in the middle of it. We just had BLM. Now we have this. We have an election that's going to come probably, and the election's probably going to come when we're going into the peak of the recession, like when it's going to be the worst. So just know that this external world is always going to be crazy. There's always going to be things going on. There's always going to be things you cannot control. But you want to just begin to focus on yourself. And you want to just begin to look at what is it I can do every day to show up as a leader, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as someone who's doing my part in making the world the best that I know how to make it. And that's all you can do. So with that, we'll do a short meditation. So if you guys just want to close your eyes, wherever you are, roll your shoulders up and back. Oh, yeah. Breathing in. Exhaling. I want you just to imagine that you're in a field with a beautiful waterfall. And in this field with a beautiful waterfall, I want you to imagine the waterfall rushing down. Feeling yourself calm, feeling yourself at peace. I want you to imagine this waterfall is washing off all the weight of the world you're feeling, all the frustration, all the anger, all the lack of understanding. Just letting everything brush off of you, all the heaviness, everything you feel like you're losing control of. Just letting this waterfall wash everything right off of you. I want you to imagine that instead of all the problems, all of the feelings, all of the anxieties, all of the worry, all of the fear, whatever you're feeling, whatever is coming up inside of you, I want you to imagine what it would feel like for you to feel peaceful. What it would feel like for you to feel relaxed, empowered, present. Feeling your breath move through you. In and out. In and out. Allowing yourself just to come back into this moment. Feeling what it feels like to feel at peace, to feel at ease. Anoshikoya, Paraya, Tronokoya, Paya, Tronoya, Prakaya, Traya. Just imagining what it feels like to feel serenity. Just imagining what it feels like to not pay attention to the external world. Just imagining what it feels like to have water washing over you energetically to remove, to release anything that's not serving you. And now what I want you to imagine, I want you to imagine what your dream life would look like in this moment. Who you'd be around, who you'd be celebrating with, what you'd be doing. I want you just to imagine for a moment that your dream reality, from this place of serenity, from this place of peacefulness, that this dream reality is happening right now. I want you to imagine that all this external noise, all this drama, all the things that are occurring in our reality, it's all washing away and you're just here with your dreams. You're just here with you and your dreams, you and who you want to become, you and your presence, you and your peace, you and your becoming. I just want you to slow your breathing down, bringing you fully into this now moment. Letting all the chaos of the world wash away. And feeling what it feels like to feel renewed. Feeling what it feels like to feel peaceful. Feeling what it feels like to be empowered in your center. Feeling what it feels like to know that nothing in this external reality can rob you of your destiny. Now what I want you to do, slowly opening your eyes and coming back into this moment. Tap your fingers where you go like this. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. And really making sure that your fingertips are touching each other because it activates meridian lines and pathways in your body for your body to feel the sensation of what you're feeling and what you're saying, for the frequency to vibrate through you, because what you say, your body picks up and your body remembers. So I hope this was helpful. If you want to go deeper on this or you're needing support, I do offer one-on-one coaching. So you can message me, coaching, and we can go through this. If you're a therapist, or you are another coach and you have clients who are dealing with these types of issues and you're wondering how to better support, communicate, move them through this type of experience, you can also book a coaching call with me. I support you guys in better understanding how to move through these types of dialogues that are very traumatizing and very, very delicate, because everyone's experience of what's occurring is so widely different, and our jobs as leaders, right, and healers and light workers, it's to make no one wrong for what they're feeling. And I'm not condoning something that's right or wrong. It's just people need to feel safe in the expression of how they're experiencing life, and that is our job as facilitators. and then to bring us into a peaceful state, to not be so reactive, so that we can observe the transformation someone is desiring to go through and facilitate that. So I would love to be a coach and a guide in supporting you in your practice of coaching, of mentorship, of psychology, so that your clients really get the results that they need. And as I said, my book, An Uncompromised Life, I highly recommend my website, or you can go on Amazon. And lastly, if you like the meditation and want more of that, I have a meditation circle. I'm happy to give you access. Just comment below meditation or message me. But I'm here for you in this time of what looks like it's the divide and maybe wrongness. But I want you to know it's all part of the greater plan and the awakening. And just to stay focused on you and your energy, and peace begins from within. Your income, your impact cannot be influenced by this, because you are too important and you did not come this far just to come this far. So, all right. I love you guys. If this served, please share it. It would mean the world to me, or tag someone who needs it.